Ladies and gentlemen, the DA has a new voter in town, and his name's Ivan. Ivan the Great.
Or if the DA had any clue, they would say Ivan the Terrible. Because, ladies and gentlemen, guess who the big new property owners in Cape Town are? They're not American, they're not English, they're not German, they're not Ukrainian, they're Russian. Russians are buying up Cape Town property at record levels.
So we all know that the DA don't like the Russians because apparently, they're bad or something. And the Russians are like, oh, screw the DA. Tell you what we'll do. Buy up Cape Town. And then what are they going to do? We the voter core anyway. Going to have to appeal to the voter demographics, eh? That's us. Putin boys. So now what?
I mean, there is an inherent irony of like the DA sort of hating Russia, along with the rest of the West, and Cape Town in particular being, a DA stronghold. And in the DA stronghold are all the Russian millionaires moving out of Russia because they can't go anywhere else now, thanks to sanctions. So they just think to themselves, oh, we'll just go to Cape Town. Cape Town's great. We're not going to go to Joburg or places like that where the ANC rules. No, we'll go where the DA rules. Almost as if like it's vindictive. Like, I think it's very funny that the constituency of the DA are going to be like Russian expats from Russia.
Hey, there's a grand irony in all of this because apparently the Russians are coming to South Africa because they can't spend their rubles because of sanctions. So they're coming to a currency that's more stable than the ruble, the rand. Like, what the fuck? The rand. Like, okay, have you seen the latest exchange rates, mate? Like, you guys come on these territories and you fart, and the bloody rand tumbles 20% value, which actually makes me wonder. Apparently, the BRICS summit, which is just around the corner, is going to have Putin turn up to South Africa. And the minute Putin sets foot on the South African soil, oh man, the shit's going to hit the fan. Americans are going to pull out Alcoa, the exchange rate's going to crash. People are virtually going to be crying. The Karens are going to be all over the show. The DA is going to be up in arms. Like, it's going to be a political shit show. So obviously they're saying, well, maybe we should get the Russians to go to China. And Putin's like, nah, I go to China. It's boring. There's no fallout. There's no fight. There's no nothing. I go to South Africa and the Western Cape Karens will be like howling like you can't believe.
I mean, the only reason I want Putin to come to South Africa is because I want to see Alan Winde try to have a citizen's arrest of the man. Like, that's my number one reason why I want Putin to come to this country. But on a serious note, Vladimir Putin has to show the rest of BRICS that he is able to travel. Because the Kremlin has been under attack by drones. We don't know if they're Ukrainian or American or even Russian drones. And there has been a bit of tension, of course, based on that. Based on sources we have, Putin is definitely coming to South Africa. He has said yes. He declined a Zoom meeting with Cyril Ramaphosa because he's not a little bitch. But I think it's very important for Putin that he actually does come for his own image as the president of Russia. And the ANC are playing this terribly as usual, saying, no, he's not going to come. Oh, we're going to move it to China. Oh, we'll have a Zoom instead. No one really knows what's going on. But as far as I know, Putin is coming, and there's very little that ANC can do to actually stop him from coming.
Yeah, so if you actually look at it from a geopolitical point of view, it would benefit China to have BRICS in China because then China basically gets to dominate BRICS. I mean, it does kind of dominate BRICS anyway. And China would benefit from that because, as we all know from the existing stuff, that what China actually really wants to do is discuss the new membership, such as Pakistan and the United Arab Emirates. So this would benefit them greatly. But you know who it wouldn't benefit? Russia. Wouldn't benefit Russia in the slightest because what it would do is allow the Chinese to be able to set the agenda. And the agenda would all be around the great Chinese Reformation, how China can avoid blockades from the US, how China can maximize its economic cooperation with Pakistan and India, their border partners. But it really wouldn't serve Russia's image. However, if Russia keeps it in South Africa, and Russia comes here and causes geopolitical disputes, Russia wins.
Well, ironically, Byron, Putin absolutely wants South Africa to have no other choice but to become a vassal state of Russia. If he sets foot on South African soil and the ICC are powerless to actually arrest him and the South African government doesn't arrest him, South Africa is in a very precarious position with its Western allies, and its only solution is to become extremely tied to BRICS and Russia in particular. So, number one, Putin has to look strong for the world and actually set foot in South Africa for the BRICS summit. But number two, he must make South Africa a vassal state of Russia. And coming here under a warrant of the ICC is a perfect way to do that.
And it makes sense, especially when you consider that the Russians are buying up Cape Town, the most profitable city in South Africa. So that's a great way for you to obviously become a vassal state. It's to buy it. Look at London, mate. London is mostly owned by the bloody Russians at this point in time. Russia already has South Africa over the barrel when it comes through to their Lady R campaign. And as we learnt over the weekend, the president set up a whole special task force to go out there and see what actually happened. We think he's been told. And so he's gone, oh, crap. You know what? We probably did something we weren't supposed to. So I'm going to classify that report. I'm going to get this report that's going to tell me what I already know, and you're never going to know. So the Russians are outplaying the ANC at every single step. And BRICS, the BRICS summit, Vladimir Putin arriving on the soil, not executing the ICC arrest warrant, to me, seems like the crescendo of the dance and the song that the Russians are playing.
So what can we expect from that? Well, we can expect the rand to tank immensely. What else will happen, Byron? I assume that our bonds will go up to shit. And if the government runs out of money because it can't trade anywhere or because it can't borrow any more, who the hell is going to pay social grants? Not Russia, that's for sure.
I suppose if that all does happen, what we can see is maybe possibly another July moment. You know, another July riot moment where everybody feels disgruntled because we can't pay for diesel, we can't raise the money to keep the lights on at Eskom. Possibly we get a national shutdown. Possibly we go through to stage 1,000 on Eskom. Like, who knows? Maybe 3 weeks without electricity. Who knows? But what I can say is it really won't be good. There will be a sustained period of disruption. And possibly, if you look at it strategically, maybe the ANC even wants that because it could allow them to call off the elections next year on the basis of disruption, right? So maybe it's exactly what the ANC want anyway. Who knows? We're only speculating, ladies and gentlemen. But I suppose what we will leave you off with is buy your tinned food, get a bulletproof, stock up with ammo, make sure you have a gun.
And a generator / solar system won't be found wanting either. Thank you for watching, everyone. See you in the next one. Cheers.